Hey guys, welcome to the personal channel, and this is that segment where I kind of play some old footage from my archives that I've never really used. And today we're going to be talking about how I ran up this mountain in Taiwan. So I used to go to Taiwan a lot, about 3 times a year. I've talked about it in a lot of my other videos on the credit Shifu. And basically there was one time where I'd been to Hong Kong and I was covering the riots there, the protests back in 2014, and then I had some business thing in Taiwan, and then I had like a 3-week gap and then another thing in Taiwan, so it didn't make sense to go back to the States and then come back out to Asia again. So I actually ended up staying in Taiwan. I stayed at some apartment somewhere that had been arranged for me, and I was there for like 3 weeks on my own, and it was really boring. It was like super boring. And I remember one day on a Sunday there, I was just like, I had nothing to do. I was like, you know what, Taipei has good mountains. If you've ever been to Taipei, like the whole city is surrounded by mountains. It's actually got a national park surrounding it. So I was like, you know what, I want to climb a mountain today, right? And it was already like 1 or 2 in the afternoon. And this was in sort of October, so it was kind of coming to the end of the year. The light, you know, the days weren't super long. But anyway, I found this mountain that was like really cool. It was a really cool hiking trail. I was like, I'm gonna do it, right? So I got the subway to the end of the line and then got in a taxi, and it took me out to this mountain. I can't remember what it was called. If I can find it online, I'll put the name of it on screen. But anyway, so as I started, it was already kind of like 3 or 4 in the afternoon, right? Already getting late. And as I started up the track, right, up these steps, and these 2 guys were coming down, and everyone else I saw on the trail was coming down, not going up. And so these 2 guys were coming down, and they're like, hey, are you going to the top? And I was like, yeah. And they were like, it's going to get dark. And I was like, oh, I've got a light. I got a flashlight, right? I got a torch. I didn't have a torch, but, you know, I was just lying. I mean, Taiwanese people, like, they're very nice. They're genuinely looking out for your safety. But if I had said, like, oh, and, like, you know, hadn't been prepared, I think they would have been more like, you know, wanted to have a chat with me and advise me not to do it, and, like, I don't want to deal with that. So I was just like, yeah, I've got a light. I'll be fine, right? And so I knew it was going to get dark. So I kind of like, I was running up this thing. And I think there was, I recorded a bit of footage halfway up. Like you can see probably, I'm like dripping with sweat. 我已经爬上来一条很长的路，现在是好像是最后一段了。Anyway, so like, yeah, that's like halfway up, and then the real climbing started on the next section. So I ran up a load more steps, and then you get faced with these rock faces, which are like, yeah, it's like a sheer rock face, and it has a steel ladder, chain ladder, you know, hanging down it. It's very, very cool. And so for me, that's like no problem, right? So I've been climbing mountains for years, so I climb up these things, and this guy was coming down. It's quite funny because I'm kind of like known in Taiwan, okay, because we have a TV show that, you know, a lot of people watch. So when this guy came down, he actually wanted to take a photo with me, so sort of like did a photo shoot halfway up the mountain. But then after these rock faces, then you get up to the actual top of this thing, which is very, very cool. It's literally just a spiky rock at the top, and trees around it, but you can see through the clearing. Beautiful, like, national park in, I forget whether it's to the north or to the south of Taipei, but somewhere near Taipei. And then, you know, I stayed up there for a while, but then it really did started getting, you know, the light turned to that sort of golden light you can see in this footage. It looks really beautiful. But yeah, I knew I was probably needed to get down, so I basically started heading down. And I guess because I'd ran up, I made it up there in like half an hour. It probably would have taken like an hour and a half if you'd walked or something. But so I beat the light. But on the way down, it was pretty much dark by the time I came down. So I just want to share that story really just to use that old footage which I've never actually used. And if you know, are curious about like going to Taiwan or Asia or whatever, I do encourage you to get out there and go and see it and get off the beaten track. You know, I don't think many Westerners, I didn't see a single other tourist on that mountain. You know, it was all Taiwanese people hiking up there. So if you can research in the local language on blogs and stuff like Taiwanese mountain climbing blogs, is which I found it on, and you know, you just research in their language and find the spots that locals go to. It's a lot better experience than if you're just sort of going to the places where a lot of Western tourists go. So I really encourage you guys to get out there when you travel, and don't be afraid to get off a beaten track, walk into the wilderness, and sweat a little bit to get to some really awesome and beautiful places. So that's kind of like the moral of that story. I hope you enjoyed it, and please subscribe for more stories like this I will be sharing on my personal channel. Probably some vlog episodes coming up. I'm really going to try and do more videos on this channel. But anyway, we'll see you next time, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.